Welcome to Porch Play Chats, sponsored by the American Association for the Child's Right to Play, or more affectionately titled IPA USA. IPA USA is the USA affiliate of the International Play Association. And as part of our efforts to promote play, we've introduced Porch Play Chats, which are conversations with people who are just as passionate about play as we are. You can find all the Porch Play Chats if you go to our website and you follow us on Instagram, be a friend on our Facebook page, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And magically, every Monday morning, a new Porch Play Chat will appear in your feed. I'm Deb Lawrence, and I'm president of IPA USA. And with me on the porch is Ellen Cogan. Good morning.
Good morning. So good to be with you again.
Oh, I know. I just love our conversations. Ellen has been involved in early childhood education since her undergraduate days. She is very young at heart. She does presentations. She at conferences. She teaches child development. She consults to small and large programs and individuals. She's an advocate for young children. She just does everything. And we are so grateful to have her wisdom as she shares exploring music as play. I just love it for preschoolers. So a previous Porch Play Chat that will be coming up in your feed very soon is one about music and infants and toddlers, but this one is all focused on preschoolers. So Ellen, let's go. So exciting.
So music is essential to every single culture. Every culture throughout the ages, throughout the world, has some way of making music, either just with voices or with banging things or plucking things or shaking things or all of the above. Mm-hmm. And we've all seen these adorable little videos of little ones who hear music and they're jumping up and down to the music because it's universal. Once they get to be preschool age, that's when a lot of people think that they can teach concepts by songs. And they teach them the days of the week. Oh. And they think that's going to help the children learn them. No, they can say every kind of nonsense syllable if you teach them, and that's what it means to them. Mm-hmm. It's like the alphabet song and counting. Mm-hmm. They need real play to show them real principles. Mm-hmm. And when adults play recorded music and think they want the children to sing, I've been as a consultant in so many classrooms where the only people singing are the adults, and one or two children will sing one or two words here and there. Mm-hmm. When you have a group of children and adults sitting around and singing things, it's a whole different way to do music.
Oh, a whole different way. And so much more relational, right? I mean, you know, I don't care what your voice is like. Children don't care that you may not be able to carry a tune.
Nobody wants to hear my voice except little kids.
All they care about is the relationship and the interaction with you, because you are the best toy in the room. And so when you put on the YouTube channel, please don't do this, to sing Wheels on the Bus, that's not what we're looking for. When you put on, please never use a smart board. But if you have one and you've been told to use it, please don't use it. Number one. But certainly don't use it.
Well, let the kids play with it.
Yeah, yes. But please don't use it to sing songs with children. Please don't use it to read books to children. Oh my goodness. So, Ellen, you've talked about all the things that children do, and I do love infants and toddlers. As soon as they hear music, they're up there. dancing back and forth. And that is wonderful, right? And we love that. But I just remember when I was directing and I went in to give a teacher a break, if, I needed to get children's attention, and I often didn't because they were too busy playing. But if I needed to get children's attention, like a teacher said, I need you, and I go racing into the classroom, and there are times when the classrooms get chaotic. All I had to do was hold up my fingers. That's all I had to do. And they were surrounding me because we were going to sing Little Bunny Foo Foo, the most violent song ever. That's they and after down comes a good fairy. All of those wonderful interactions and motions that you do with them enthralls them.
Okay, so back in the late 60s, there was a teaching magazine that I used to get every month. I can't remember its name now. And they decided to promote international singing. And they printed songs in different languages with the translation.
Mm-hmm.
And the first one they had is "Let's kill the rooster, kill, kill, kill." And I wrote a letter that they actually published. You see, I was an advocate way back. And I said, I am 1,000% sure that there are wonderful songs in that language that indicate the values that we want children to learn.
And not kill, kill, kill.
And even if "Kill, Kill, Kill" is a very popular song, it's not for us to teach it. We are supposed to pay attention to the words of what we're teaching and teach children to sing things that reflect the values we want to have. Just like we pick the storybooks in the classroom based on the values we want the children to learn. So they published that. And years later, I ran into somebody somewhere and she said, "You're the lady who didn't like that "Kill, Kill, Kill" song." And I said, "You bet."
Bet I didn't.
"Well, I learned it growing up and I loved it." I said, "Good, but you don't teach it in a classroom." It's a difference. Now, what do you teach in a classroom? You have musical supplies and equipment. You have things to shake, you have things to bang. They sell very expensive tools that have little bells that each make a different sound, or they have little shakers that each make a different sound. You ask the parents to send in some empty boxes, and you get 5 or 6 of the same box. And then you put them in the art place with a box of pebbles. And then they could put different numbers of pebbles, which is math and play and science and STEM and the whole works in each one. And then you close them up tight and you let them put as much tape around them as they want. Yes, you waste the tape. So what?
Yeah.
And then they shake it. And they shake different sounds. And after a while, they listen to the sounds and they go, "This is a song." And they can sing with it. There are call and response songs. There are answer songs. There are songs where you just, I think they call them zip songs, where you zip in different verses. And you let the kids make the verses. And they giggle and they enjoy it. And I remember, I forget how old my son was, but he made a song in the car about how the red light makes you stop and then you get to go, 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 go. And he loved his go, 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 go song. And it would have faded. except the next time we were in the car, I said, you remember your go, 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 go song? He said, it had a red light burst. We can't sing it now. Until the red light. And then I said, now you can do your go, go, go song. So we stopped at the red light. And then he could sing his go, go, go song. And of course, it had a tune, which I forget.
Well, you know the Willoughby Wallaby song, right? The
Sure.
the rhyming song that you use their names in there. And that's the other thing that I could always get children's attention immediately if I sang the Willoughby Wallaby song. And no one likes, it's just like when you go on vacation. You don't care about any of the other pictures except the ones that have you in them. Children only care about anything that is really using their names in it. I mean, we're all egocentric that way.
Which is so important, because if you have a class of more than 5 or 6 children, and most people do, you do not want to do a song where the whole verse is one child's name.
Right. Just
You're never going to get around the circle
everybody.
and with all the children behaving okay.
Yeah, exactly.
So
and Willoughby Wallaby's like this, and they laugh and they giggle and they point to the person whose name you just made craziness with. They love those things. And again, it's interactional, it's relationship building, it's fun. They get to hear rhyming words in there in the Willoughby Wallaby song. You know, and of course there are billions of them. We would take the itsy bitsy spider in the preschool room, it would be the great big spider, right? Instead of the itsy bitsy spider. And you know, you have fun with those lyrics.
Okay, so in music, there are only 3 ways music can go. If you have one tone, the next one has to be higher or lower or the same. That's all it can do. It doesn't matter whether it's a little rhyming thing or whether it's a symphony. There are only 3 things that music can do. They can go higher or lower or have the same pitch. So you can have all these kind of games where they can go, ah, oh, yeah, and they can match pitches. Kids are much better at it than we are. And you can play with that. You can play with pitch. You can, of course, everybody knows rhythm. So we clap names. And you know, there are these wait times that come up. And what do you do in a wait time? You tell a story, you have a song, you do this, but you can clap. We can wait, wait, wait. We can stop. We can wait, wait, wait. We can stop. Any kind of rhythm that you do is playful and cues the kids in. And then you see them when they're playing and they're building something and they're relating to each other, they can make songs.
I've heard them sing when I was a preschool teacher. You know, we sang repetitive songs all the time. It was, you know, Itsy Bitsy Spider, The Wheels on the Bus, Mary Had a Little Lamb. It was all the good ones, right? Itsy Bitsy Spider, all of those. And we would sing them and they would make up their own words to them. And I'd say, oh, let's sing it with those words. And so we would then use their words instead of the Itsy Bitsy Spider words, but it was the same tune. And so it was amazing how creative they came. And I didn't care if they rhymed or not. We used their words. And how meaningful is that to a child, and what wonderful confidence they have in their ability when you take something that is familiar and they replace the words and you're able to do it. It's just like reading a story and having a storyline and then saying, you know, what other, could we use our names in this story? Who would be which character? And then reading the story with the children's names in it versus the characters that were in the story. Once they've gotten used to the pattern of the story, those are rich literacy, meaningful experiences with them. That is not saying, what is this letter, right? Or write your name. All those pre-literacy skills are so important when we clap so that they can understand syllables later on. That's a pre-literacy skill.
We can clap the names. We can clap the sounds of other letters. We can clap to a song.
Mhm.
And we can also allow children to touch real musical instruments.
Yes, real ones, not the ones that are
Real
that you're
ones.
paying way too
Back
much
in
money
the
for.
day,
Yeah.
a bazillion years ago,
Mhm.
when I was teaching kindergarten, there was a real piano in my classroom.
Oh,
There was a piano in every kindergarten classroom.
how wonderful is that?
And during free choice activity or work time, we called it, the children could choose to play the piano.
Mhm.
There were two rules: clean hands and only fingers could touch the piano.
Mhm.
They couldn't bang on it with toys or anything. I mean, that was it. And most of the other teachers would not allow the children to touch the piano.
Oh boy.
And I said, why? They could break it. Did you ever attend a Philharmonic concert? Did you ever see anybody playing Liszt?
Mhm.
The skill in those days, mostly men, that a man had in his hands to play Liszt, a 5-year-old can't possibly
Hurt the piano.
hurt the piano with fingers, only fingers.
I think,
Look,
being an auditory learner, I might have to put in an earplug when children were even just playing with their fingers on the piano. But the experience of of getting a sound from what your fingers are doing is an amazing experience for young children. And so I have to tell the story, and I've told it twice this week already. So I'll try to break this up so you can hear it again, so that you're not hearing it 3 times in 1 week. But it just came to me this week when Rod, my oldest, I'm not going to tell you how old he is, because then you'll know how old I am. My oldest was between the ages of 12 and 18 months. Whenever it was time to go to the kitchen for me to start preparing a meal, he wanted to come with me, which was perfectly acceptable. And so I had the Rod cupboard. So, and the Rod drawer. So these were the 2 places he could go. He could get anything he wanted out of them. It had the margarine tubs and the lids in there, but there were some pots and pans that I seldom used. And he always had some wooden spoons or some plastic spoons that were in there. And he would take out those materials and he would bang them with his wooden spoon or his plastic spoon. And he would sometimes bang them with 2 hands and make all this wonderful music while I was busy cooking. But he was right there with me, and away from the stove, where he could get hurt, but in the room with me, being so happy to be able to be with me and yet be able to play like that, right? Well, it just came to me this week and he did that for 6 months at least. Every day, 2 or 3 times a day, he would do that. Well, guess what musical instrument he played in middle and high school?
Drum.
Drums. He was in the marching band. He was in the
Oh, I'm so glad you said marching band.
concert band. He was in all with drums.
One of the things that children love is to march around and make noise.
Yes.
And you can encourage them when you see a few of them making noise. Do you want to have a parade?
Mhm.
How do you do it? You walk around with your instruments. And it doesn't have to be the whole class. It doesn't have to be going from room to room. It can just be a few children marching around in that area. And then you might say, do you think the children in the house corner want to have a parade coming? And then they might go through there. And then they may say no. You say, oh, would you like them to come and watch your parade? And then you can introduce it the other way.
Mhm.
Because when you take the clue from what the children want and you give them plenty of instruments and things to do, you will have great stuff.
Yes. And okay, absolutely. And so I think, Ellen, you've given us so many tips on how to make music be relevant and meaningful to children's experiences and not something that they're seeing on a screen. We've talked about the importance of relationship building and singing with them and you singing. We've talked about picking up on children's interests and extending that interest by asking them if they want to have a parade. We've talked about all of the skills that are developed, which should not be the primary focus. The primary focus is to follow children's interests and to make this classroom playful and enjoyable and motivating. All of those key concepts that as teachers, we need to be thinking about in our heads. What I worry about so many times is that because we're wanting to catch them up, that we're missing those foundational pieces that will help them be successful. And you've just given us, I don't know, 15 different ways to build those foundations that they need, that they're interested in, that's in their developmental
There's always
range.
one more.
Okay, one more.
Collect rhythm instruments
Yes.
and keep them in a big box and encourage children to use them, not just when it's music time.
Oh, so beautiful. Absolutely. And they don't have to be expensive.
Oh, no.
You can take water bottles these days and make shakers out of them. There's so many things that you can do inexpensively, so you don't have to go spend $200 on musical instruments. Think about what you could do with them. All right, I'm going to close this out. Don't go anywhere. To learn more about IPA USA, please visit our website at ipausa.org. And until next time, keep on playing.